pair t-test. Pair t-test is done when data comes in pair. For example, we are testing two types of barbecue from chef 1 and barbecue from chef 2, and then we want to see which chefs makes the best delicious barbecue. So these are the numbers, say from 0 to 10 is scale. 0 means very very bad and 10 means is the best barbecue ever. Then you have testers. So tester 1 test both barbecue from chef 1 and chef 2 and then rate their barbecue, how delicious they are, 10 being the most delicious and 0 being the least delicious. And then tester 2 does the same rating, tester 3 does the same rating. So each of those tester rate twice. That's why it's called pair. The data comes in pair. This also calls masked pair sometimes. And then in upper level design of experiment, this thing is called repeated measure. So each of these subject basically measured repeatedly, data comes from them repeatedly. That's why it's also called repeated measure. So to do a pair test, first of all, let's do that 4-step hypothesis testing. Step number 1, introduction. It's the writing down the hypothesis. Null hypothesis is the mean value, mean score for the deliciousness of the barbecue 1 is equal to mean score from the barbecue from chef 2. And null hypothesis, because it's null, it's always equal or 0 or nothing, because we don't know which chef is actually better. So we're gonna write the alternative like is not equal to mu 2. So they're basically same. Now step number 2 is the method. As I told you before, this is a paired t-test. It's a little bit difficult to define what method to use. It is recommended that you should consult a statistician before choosing a proper method, even before collecting the data. Now from the method, let's see, calculate the probability value for the null hypothesis to happen. So probability value, I can simply write t-test and then it will ask for the data array 1 and then data array 2 and then tail. That comes from your alternative hypothesis. If it's not equal, that means it could be smaller or higher. Chef 1 could be higher or chef 2 could be higher. So it could go either way. In that kind of situation, it's a two-tailed test, and then it is looking for, is it a pair test or two sample regular test? It's a pair test, so use 1 and then hit OK. That's the probability. This is the probability of null hypothesis to happen. The probability of null hypothesis to happen. Step number 3 is the result. So we write results like results. You say we reject the null accept the null hypothesis, because the p-value is 0.1 is larger than the level of significance. The level of significance is typically 0.05.
This is a test of the Minnesota State University Mankato Emergency Public Address System.
Step
If
number
an actual emergency, instructions would be announced via this system.
4.
I repeat, this is only a test.
Contextual conclusion is basically you rewrite the accepted hypothesis, rewrite the accepted hypothesis. So we accepted null hypothesis, so we're gonna write that the barbecue is statistically from both chef are similar with respect to the deliciousness, like that. So that's it about the pair t-test. You do this test when data comes in pair like this.